Hello, Brian.
There's Josh. All right, well, I think we'll get started. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for attending our first ever Heritage Retrofit Carpentry Virtual Showcase. We are excited to celebrate our students and their accomplishments over the year. And yeah, we've never done anything like this before. So for those of you who are joining us, thank you for that. Bear with us in case we encounter any technical difficulties. So today's showcase will last approximately an hour. Student participants will, student presentations, I guess I should say, will be in groups of 3 to 4 students, so about 10 minutes long. And then after which there'll be an opportunity to ask them questions. And I'd like to encourage everybody to not be shy and to please ask them questions because that is part of their presentation mark, okay? The showcase will be recorded, and so if anyone wants the link afterwards to rewatch or to share with friends and family, that will be available to you. Just feel free to maybe email Josh or myself, and we can get you that link. Additionally, most of our students have created really impressive looking e-portfolios that has their resume and some photos of their work. And so if anybody's interested in seeing those, you can either reach out to the students or myself, and we'd be able to share those links with you as well. So before we get started, I just want to ask Josh, do you have anything that you want to add or share? You've been to all these showcases. This is my first one, so.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm just excited to see this. It's the first attempt at virtual, but it looks great and highly polished, and I want to thank Trish for that and the students for all their hard work. Also, just to take a minute to welcome our distinguished guests. We have Charlotte Stewart with us, Bill Courtney, and Brian Willis. We may have some more joining us later. As I'm speaking, 2 more people signed on, and I haven't had a chance to look who those are. But just keep in mind, we have some distinguished guests, and they'll be able to ask questions as well. And finally, in an unrelated topic, I just want to make sure that all the students check their inbox. We had 2 important emails from school today regarding COVID-19 and the mental and financial help should you need it. So check your inbox and lean on any one of us instructors if you need help applying or have any questions thereof. So thank you, Trish.
Great. So I did do a practice run on this, but I'm nervous now that I didn't check off the box that I needed to. So if you start seeing people talking and you don't hear anything, just wave at the screen to me and I'll go back in and make sure that you get that audio. All right. So, well, let's get started. Can you hear it?
I'm not hearing noise, Trish. I'm sorry. That might just be me.
Oh, I'm not either.
It's quiet.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
no, then that just means that I shared my screen wrong. So just thank you for that. I knew I wasn't going to get through this without some sort of technical issue.
Nice to see all your faces.
Bear with me.
Hey, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
Debbie.
It's really nice to see your faces, guys.
Hi, Captain.
Thanks, Debbie.
Except for Josh.
All right, let's try this again. Is that better?
Perfect.
My name is Nathan Madigan. I'm a 2020 graduate of the HRC program. I chose the program based on a recommendation from a friend of mine. My favorite thing about the program was access to that shop. It was probably the nicest shop I've ever been in. After graduation, I want to stay working with people I care about on projects that I enjoy. My dream job is to have my own shop and produce my own work. My favorite project of the year was actually seemingly something small, as a set of James Cranoff sawhorses I built. It kind of pushed my practice. They were a real challenge for me. I'll send a photo of those along. One thing I learned from Josh Silver was to always keep a good attitude about whatever project we had in the shop at the time. One conversation I had with Trevor that will stick with me was talking about the realities of running a small business and how tight and tough the margins are in the carpentry world. One thing I learned from Kelly was to read blueprints, which was actually a pretty big step for me in my career. One thing I learned from Trish was to adapt, or to be able to adapt. She was new into the program, and as I learned, she was learning. One thing I learned from Debbie was that I'm not as terrible at math as I had previously thought I was, or maybe even been told I was. I just didn't have the best teachers, and she took me a lot farther in math than I thought I could go, and it was really, really good for my confidence, especially with carpentry and workshop math. One piece of advice I would give future students of the program is to hit the ground running in September. You don't really have time to wait to take on projects. I got the same advice from a friend of mine and the instructors when we started, that the year was going to go by quick, and it did. All the afternoons you leave early, or lunch hours you don't stay in the shop, or is really time you're going to miss at the end of the year. So take advantage of having access to that equipment, that material, and that expertise, because it goes fast. All right. Thank you and good luck. Thanks for watching.
The reason I chose the HRC program is because I knew that I would be coming to Holland, and I knew that I wanted to do carpentry for a while now, and HRC was the best carpentry program I feel like Holland had, and it's the reason I chose it. My favorite thing about the program is just being able to every day go to a wood shop for school, you know. I really enjoy it. My dream goal is to someday become a carpenter, get my red seal, and start my own carpentry company. A few samples of my work. I have a few right here. I have a mallet that I made with Josh on the lathe. I have this dado box that I made with Trevor. It's made out of plywood and held all together by dados. I have this cutting board that I made as a side project on my own. My favorite project of the year was the bracket project, where we had to go to a house in Charlottetown and find a complicated enough bracket that we had to recreate. One thing I learned from Trevor is just to be more patient with woodworking and not to rush all the time. Trish taught me how to write the work breakdown structure. Josh taught me safety above everything else. Debbie taught me trigonometry, and Kelly taught me how to read a blueprint. One piece of advice I'd give to a new student starting is just to ask for help if you need it. The instructors are good instructors. They're there to help you, and they know what they're doing. So just ask for help if you need help. And that is all I have. Thank you.
I choose a program. So I was in my third year at UPI, and I was taking psychology. I was still really sure what I wanted to do, if I really wanted to do that. And a mentor of mine suggested that I do a trade. And I've been a hard-working guy. And I said, why not try to do a trade on Holland, you know? So it was like one of the only trades in the city that I was very interested in. And like I said, I'm a hands-on guy. I like working with my hands. So I did this program. So what's my favorite thing about the program is how each of the teachers are committed to making sure that you do well. And I remember one of the first things Josh said, and I think it was one of his first class or second classes, is that everybody's there to become a better human being, and they shouldn't feel bad about where they're coming from or what they accomplished before, that everybody's going to become better by the end of the year. What do you want to do after graduation? So now most people know trades. It's the place to go and something to do if you want to make good money. That's, for me, that's part of it. But like I said, if I can just find a job after graduation, either through the help of Josh or doing something in the area that I want to, which is like renovations and stuff like that, because I want to be able to renovate my own house, after I'm done. But yeah, that's my plan after I graduate, just find work. My dream job, goal / career aspirations. I guess I won't say I don't know what I'm gonna do. I know I just want to work and see where life takes me. I have a passion for basketball, but I also feel like for me, like school is very important, so I want to make sure I have something for that, and just kind of slowly work my way into making sure I'm settled, or just able to start my own business. So I show samples of my work. Some of the work that we did this year was Church St. Vincent Church Store. That was a really good project. Good to go on the site, get the stuff from the back. Learn how to make different stuff for the door, tendons, styles, hinges, wheels, panels, the mirrors, window, fixing that, taking that out. In the timber frame, moving the heavy pieces of wood, and all the work goes behind it, the staining, all that. Something I learned from Josh, not being afraid to ask for help, being accurate in whatever you're doing. Something I learned from Trevor was the importance of being sure and kind of managing the client's expectations. Something I learned from Josh and Trevor. Kelly is blueprints and drafting. I would look at a blueprint, know what's inside the building, know the different floors, know the elevations, know the different looks. Trish, I learned how to use PowerPoint, Word, and Excel better, how to make a Gantt chart, how to make a better resume, and how to communicate more efficiently. And from Debbie, different things in math that are pertaining to carpenters, things they can use on the job site. And then one piece of constructive advice you'd leave for future students and classes. Laugh at Josh's jokes. Trevor is scary, but he's actually a nice guy. That's pretty much it. Thank you.
The heritage retrofit carpentry because it covers a wide range of knowledge, and it also has a great reputation. My favorite thing about this program is the freedom of using the shop and the great advice given by the teachers. After graduation, I want to work for an employer and also work for myself, so build my own shop. I like to create some small pieces of furniture or cutting board, that kind of thing, and eventually getting self-sufficient and only work for myself. My favorite project from the year was the cutting board. It was actually one of the first. I liked it because it introduced a lot of basic tools that we need all the time, like jointer, planer, the miter saw, table saw, router, etc. And it's a great way to get introduced to carpentry that way. The biggest thing I learned is how the wood reacts with time, so cupping, bowing, twisting, and how to deal with it. One piece of advice for future students is take advantage of the shop. Use it as much as you can.
Okay, so we'll open up questions for, I guess, Pierre. I think he's actually the only one who's with us today. Nathan, I did talk to him on the phone yesterday, and he wanted me to pass along his regrets. He is working today. He's got a great job that he's busy at. Otherwise, he would have loved to be here. But do you have any questions for Pierre?
Are you still in Quebec?
I am. I am. I'm stuck here.
Did you get your math stuff yet?
I did, but I'm running behind everything now. But I will get it on time.
Okay.
Way to use the platform, Debbie.
Did you get a shop?
Go ahead. Sorry, Trevor.
Sorry. Did you get a shop to work in, Pierre?
Yeah, I started to make some place, and I started working on the dovetail.
Right.
And I need to get some more stuff, like a square and a couple more chisels. But yeah, it's I started working on that.
Good.
Pierre, you mentioned taking advantage of the shop in terms of, I assume, in terms of free time and building additional items. Is that what you meant?
Yeah, after hours stuff, and just
I know you
side projects and
yeah, I know you took great advantage of that. You made those coasters, which we saw in the video, and numerous cutting boards, and many of those were gifts, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Why didn't you have a picture of the birdhouse?
Oh yeah, birdhouse. Hang on. Yeah, I'll try to find one on my phone right now. I like doing small stuff like that and being really meticulous, and I like being really accurate. That's the kind of things I like to do. So here's a picture of my birdhouse for you, Ashley. Up, here we go.
Excellent.
In for you. Can you hold that up one more time? I'm sorry.
Sorry, no, go ahead.
Could I ask you to hold that up one more second?
Sure.
It's the world's most elaborate birdhouse. My daughter wants to see it. See, it looks like a diner. Oh, hold it there for a minute. My family's coming.
Oh, wow.
Wait, my son's on his way.
It's so cool.
Wow.
I think you could sell 3 more, Pierre. Like.
So I have a question for Pierre, Josh.
Okay, I just have a follow-up if you don't mind.
Yep, go ahead.
So with that extra time you spent, I think the cat's kind of out of the bag where Trevor and I deliberately set up that free time so that, the assignment is make a cutting board. But when you or Stephen or most of you that are keen stay after because you want to make more Christmas gifts and more cutting boards, we'll donate the shop time and the wood, because really what you're doing, instead of making 1 cutting board, you're making 2, 3, 4, 5 cutting boards, and you're making every time the skill level is increasing. And I wish you were there to give advice to those future students, because that's exactly what we want. And I dare say you're a better carpenter because you've got 5 cutting boards under your belt rather than just 1. So hats off to you for taking advantage of that.
Yeah. Because then you're, like you're saying, Josh, you're continuing to learn without really realizing that you're still learning, right?
Yeah.
So Pierre, if you were still in the shop and had all these tools and time, what would you have built for your capstone project?
I was thinking about building oyster shack station for someone I know. That would have been a great project. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. That's the part I'm going to miss, is not seeing these capstones that are much more personal to each and every one of you. Yeah. Cool.
I want to share. Sorry, Kelly.
Go ahead, Trish.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that earlier in the semester, Pierre did a presentation based on how he turned a van into basically like a camper. And he went through the whole process with us, and our entire class was just riveted by this process that he had undertaken, and it was just so impressive, the skill and the creativity that was shown. And I almost reached out to him and asked for some pictures of the camper, but I think he did that before he started the program. But certainly just so talented, Pierre.
Nice.
Yeah, I did that project 3 summers ago, so it was way before I started actually learning carpentry.
Yeah,
But,
still something to be very proud of.
Yeah, I'm really proud of it. Yeah, it's I was really creative, and that's yeah, I'm really proud of that. So for those who has Facebook, I made a page for that. It's called The Van and I, with all the steps, building steps of that van. So it's not really neat like I would do it now, but yeah, it's 3 years
And
ago.
That's maybe something you could add to your e-portfolio, Pierre, because it shows your, it shows your creativity.
Yeah, true.
So, well, I don't think that we have Josh White with us. And like I said, Nathan is unfortunately working today. So that is, unless we have any questions for Pierre, I think we'll move on to our next group of students.
Good job, Pierre.
Great job.
Thank you.
Great job. Next up, we have Josh, Jordan, and Ethan.
Hi, my name is Josh McGinnis. I am a future graduate of the Heritage Retrofit Carpentry program at Holland College. I just reached a point in my life where I decided I needed a career change, and after talking with a career counselor, doing some research, and just really figuring out what I really wanted, I decided to apply for the program.
I grew up in Charlottetown. My father is a red steel plumber, and my grandfather a carpenter. So I always had to help out around the house, even when I would rather be hanging out with my friends. And I could read a measuring tape before grade 1. We built this shed together. I helped out with almost every renovation done to this house over the past 30 years, and have always helped out a friend when I could. I also really like to build things. This coffee table might not be the best looking around, but it's solid as a rock and was one of the first projects I ever built over 15 years ago. 3 years ago, I built this headboard.
I enjoyed all of it. There was just something satisfying about working with your hands, finishing a project, and a job well done. So it just made sense that I would give the program a shot. After starting the program, I'm confident that I made the right choice. I became a student leader, have been nominated for the Dr. E.M. Glendenning Award, and had received the W. Garfield Weston Award of Excellence for Aspiring Tradespeople. I've had the opportunity to take the lead on projects and just help out with others.
This window was taken from City Hall. As you can see, this window has severely rotted away. Using this window as a blueprint, we recreated a new window, salvaging the glass and hardware, making improvements to help prevent future issues due to water damage, and then reinstalled the window. Here are a few progress pictures of a door we built for City Hall. We milled up the lumber from rough stock, created all the trim, put it together with mortise and tenon, primed, painted, installed the glass. All that's left is to install. Here are a few pictures of us removing a set of doors from St. Dunstan's Basilica Church, and the class working on restoring those doors, as well as a couple of my own personal projects. A cutting board made from walnut and maple, and a dresser/change table made for a friend.
There are plenty of other projects, everything from push sticks to dovetails. It's hard to pick a favorite. Typically, as long as I'm in the shop, getting to work on something or learn something new, I'm pretty happy. I've learned and achieved so much during my time in the Heritage Retrofit Carpentry program. Josh and Trevor taught me all the basic and advanced carpentry skills I'll need to start my career. More importantly, taught me about safety. This way I can continue to work, stay healthy, stay happy, keep all my fingers. Kelly taught me how to read and interpret blueprints, as well as produce my own. Debbie put a lot of effort and work into teaching me all the math skills I need to be a successful carpenter. Trish helped me develop the project management skills so that I can stay on track and finish my work. Own my own shop, build my own projects, help out my friends and family, and people within my community. Thank you.
I chose the HRC program because I'm a hands-on kind of guy. The thing about the program is the fact that it's family-esque in a sense. Everyone's helping one another. It's a small class, so everyone's engaged. And what do I want to do after graduation? After graduation, I want to build things for my personal use and also build things for profit. My dream job, my goals and aspirations. As everybody probably already knows, I'm a basketball player. I aspire to play pro. But what I want to do with this program is I want to, like I said, build things for my personal use and profit and whatnot. But I also want to build a brand and build companies and hire people and get them jobs, do things like this. Because this is forever. There's always going to be houses being built and whatnot like that. So now in this time, I'm going to show you some of the work we did over the course of the year. Now that you've seen that, my favorite project of this year would have to be the Province House windows. The fact that we got to work on it as a class, and I like that. One thing that I've learned from each of my teachers, starting with Josh, the attention to detail, always being positive, and even though I wasn't the type to ask a lot of questions, he did teach and preach to always ask questions and you needed extra help and whatnot. From Trevor, to always be precise and accurate in your work, kind of to take things seriously or you can get badly hurt and whatnot. From Kelly, how to read blueprints, how to make blueprints, how to figure out where things are in buildings and things of that nature. From Trish, basic communication, how to keep things organized. Trish taught how to keep things organized, like with the gadget.
Hi, I'm Ethan Spenceley, and I will be graduating the Heritage Retrofit program this spring. There are multiple reasons why I chose the Holland College Heritage Retrofit program. It was first brought to my attention by my carpentry teacher in high school. I had previously been looking at the program up at Summerside, but due to my interest in older buildings, he recommended this one for me. I went through the transitions program as well, which allowed me to take a look at the shop, which piqued my interest even more. My favorite thing about the HCR program is that we were able to get hands-on experience working with heritage properties on PEI. Working on the St. Dunstan's Cathedral and Glen Allendale Estate, let me see what a future career path would look like. Beneficial in terms of learning the curriculum and giving us the opportunity to put this on a resume as well. After graduation, I'd like to get a job in the carpentry field, ideally in the restoration and renovation of older properties on PEI. I'd like to be able to work a job that continues to teach me new carpentry skills and restoration skills as well. I'd like to someday be able to have my own small company where myself and a few other team members could be privately contracted. My favorite project of the year would have to be a custom door I constructed for my instructor, Kelly Sampson. I enjoy this project since my group and I were able to take some creative control of the design. After graduation, I'd like to get a job in the carpentry field, ideally in the restoration and renovation of older properties on PEI. I'd I'd like to be able to work a job that continues to teach me new carpentry skills and restoration skills as well. I'd like to someday be able to have my own small company where myself and a few other team members could be privately contracted. My favorite project of the year would have to be a custom door I constructed for my instructor, Kelly Sampson. I enjoy this project since my group and I were able to take some creative control of the design of the door. It was Star Wars themed, so I had fun creating the stencils for the gingerbreading and the door panels. One piece of advice I have for future students is use the shop to your advantage. There's always a lot of projects going on, and to get involved in all of them in whatever way you can will give you the best chance to learn as much as possible. I certainly learned a lot of valuable skills from Heritage Retrofit Carpentry. I truly enjoyed it and would recommend it to anybody with interest in heritage on PEI.
My name is Nathan Madigan. I'm a 2020 graduate of the HRC program. I chose...
Oops.
I seem to be frozen here. Just 1 second. Okay, so can everybody still hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So before we get into questions for Josh and Jordan and Ethan, I want to apologize to Ethan. I edited your video incorrectly, and so I left out one of your segments and put in one twice. So I want to apologize to you for that, because that wasn't his presentation, that was mine. And then also for both Josh and Jordan, the software that I was using would only let me use clips so long, and so there were a little bit of edits and things that got cut off. So I just, in case you thought something's not there, I wanted you to know why. Anyway, we can open up the floor for questions for Josh, Jordan, and Ethan. Actually, just Josh and Ethan, because Jordan's not in here today.
I have a couple. You mind if I ask a couple?
No, don't go right ahead.
Go ahead.
So, Ethan, I'm glad that there was an editing glitch. I was worried you had a stroke there or something.
Me too.
Sorry, Ethan.
For both of you, I can just say, you know, from an instructor perspective, your passion really was the key for both of you. We never had to push you to. We never had to ask you to do anything. I know for both of you, and Josh, you're probably even more guilty, is occasionally I'd have to say, slow down, don't take on too much, because you guys were just eager to do anything and everything, and we really appreciate that. And far more than just the appreciation of your instructors, that's going to pay out in droves for your skills and your career in the future. So well done on that. And just a general comment that passion really shows through. Like, you both took a great deal of pride in what you were talking about. And the Star Wars door was really interesting and really neat. I'm gonna try to get some photos. Maybe Kelly can share one with us. But
we do have photos coming up of it. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I sent some photos to Trish.
He did. Yeah, he did. And again, it became a timing thing. Lots of people wanted to share photos of that door, and so I just had to kind of, instead of showing it the same door 10 times, I just showed it a couple times. But it is coming up.
Okay, good, because there's other people that deserve credit on that, and but
Yeah.
certainly you as well, Ethan. And as modern and non-historic as that door is, it hit all the points that Trevor and I want to teach you. You use the wood lathe, you use the scroll saw, every piece of equipment and every technique and fine motor skill that you would do to replicate anything historic went into that Star Wars door. So really unique, really interested, and a deep level of engagement. So well done to both of you. Thank you very much for being great students.
Thanks.
And great secret keepers.
I just want to say something. I'm really proud of you guys, and I'm proud of all the carpenters who we've had in this course. I'm just, I know it's going to be tough to try and find a job right now, and but I'm sure that each and every one of you will continue on and get what you want out of the carpentry course. So just keep it up. Keep up your work, and you're going to do very well. Thank you for being there. So,
Ethan, this is Bill. I have a question. What kind of elements are in your Star Wars door? I'm familiar with Star Wars, but what's on the door? We'll probably see a photo.
There, we put two panels underneath the screen, and I custom cut them with the scroll saw to look like a Stormtrooper and Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And Sebastian made custom spindles to go in between the screen and the panel. And each one of those look like a different lightsaber. And we did custom gingerbread panels, and I included a TIE Fighter, an X-Wing, the Millennium Falcon, and the Death Star in those.
Wow, that's excellent. I'm
It's
looking
very
forward to
impressive.
Now, is that for your like a door in your house, Kelly, or is it a child's door? What is it for?
No, yeah, I wanted a new screen door, and I was talking to Josh, and he said, "Oh, we can, take that on as a project." And I had no idea that it was going to be Star Wars themed. I just thought it was going to be a screen door. So it was a surprise to come home and find it attached to my back door. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you have the most interesting screen door in your neighborhood.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. The idea of a Star Wars door is freaking me out a little bit. I can hardly wait to see it. Thanks for inviting me in on this. I am listening intently to your presentations, and I'm struck with your passion and dedication. So thanks for letting me eavesdrop in on this. And I apologize. I was double timing another meeting when I jumped on here. So just thanks for that.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we don't have any more questions for these guys, we'll move on to our next group. Hopefully I don't encounter any more technical difficulties. Let's see here. So nope. Nope. And here we go.
Alright, hey guys, my name is Sebastian, and today I'm going to be talking to you about my experience in the HRC program. So, why did I choose HRC? I personally chose HRC as a program because my entire life I've had a passion for carpentry and making things, and I thought that this program would be a good way to express myself and express those passions. Comparatively to just regular carpentry, it focuses on both framing and as well as cabinetry, so I thought that that would be a good thing because I do enjoy both of those things just as equally. So my favorite thing from the program would honestly just probably be the instructors themselves. I find that they're all very passionate about the subjects that they teach, and they're all very kind and helpful and driven and patient as well, especially patient. So after grad, ideally I would like to start my own business eventually. I'm sure that that will take a while, but at some point that is the goal. Until then, I'm just fine and happy with working under whoever would take me. My dream job would probably be, again, working for myself. I find that that would just give me more freedoms that other companies would not. And that's just, I think that's the goal for everyone, really. So here are some samples of the projects that I've done so far over this year. There's this here door that we built for our blueprints teacher. Her name is Kelly. It's Star Wars themed. She loves Star Wars. And then pictured here are small plates that we made, or rather plaques that we made for the cooking class at Culinary Institute. And then we have here the church doors that we are repairing and replacing for St. Dunstan's Cathedral. And then finally, here's the replica bracket that I hadn't quite finished, but here it is nonetheless. Unfortunately, I don't really have many other pictures or examples, as I wasn't really expecting to have to need them. So that's all I have, sadly. So things that I learned from instructors. One thing that I learned from someone in particular is patience. I learned that from Trish. She is very patient, and I think that's a great virtue to have, and I'll definitely be carrying that forward with me throughout my career. And some constructive advice I'd give to students in the future would be to just be patient and realize that the instructors that are teaching you are also people, and they have families and responsibilities and emotions as well. And that'll be everything, so thank you for listening.
The reason I did choose HRC as a major for my college was since I was a kid, I had this thing, like a potential in me to create or repair things such as tools or machines. So when it came to choose a major, I couldn't find anything better than HRC. And my favorite thing about this major and courses was the great freedom we had in our wooden shop, so we could just sit and settle down and think about what we're gonna make or create, and nothing was going to disturb us. About the things or actions that I'm gonna do after graduation, I can tell about applying for jobs, which it helps me to get my visa things together as well. And my favorite part of the whole year of the semester, the projects, was timber frame for Parks Canada. I think the special thing about this project was the chance it gave us to get into a big proportion of projects, and it was really interesting. And one of my dream jobs after graduation could be having my own firm or company of construction and having too many employees. If I want to tell you guys that what did I learn from my professors, for Trevor and Josh, they kind of gave me a special point of view. So right now, if I take a look at any place or building, I can tell quickly which part need to be fixed or repaired. They also gave me other skills of how to cut wood or create other wooden stuff, which was really awesome. About Kelly and Trish and Debbie, before I met Kelly, I didn't know what was going on with blueprints and plans and stuff. So right now I can read any plans or blueprints, and it's really awesome and interesting. And Trish, she kind of taught me how to use project management applications. So currently, if I want to do anything and I need to rearrange steps prior to that action, I can use these applications easily, and they kind of give me a proper routine and plan to do them one by one on time. And about Debbie, the way she was taking hard on us, she kind of made me on time on all of my groove actions and other stuff. And she kind of gave me a good skill in calculation and doing math things. And also, if I want to give an advice to new students who are taking HRC, I think they better think well and consult with someone who got more experience than themselves before taking any steps forward. Thank you. Have a good one.
Hi, I'm Ashley Langdon, and this is my showcase. One of my favorite things about the class was all the field trips we took. We learned so much about things in our community, and then we were privileged to work on them too, like the St. Dunstan's church doors. Although we weren't able to finish due to the circumstances, I can still say that I helped work on that door. After graduation, I would really like to work in a fine woodworking shop, making custom figurines, cutting boards, things like that. It has always been my dream to have my own shop someday. If I'm not able to work in one of those shops, because there's not very many of them, I wouldn't mind installing or making custom trim. My favorite project was the one we were currently doing before COVID kind of took over everything. And we were all doing brackets, and I was in the middle of making a custom finial on the lathe for mine. I learned so much from all of my teachers, and I thank them all, and I miss them dearly. I learned from them that I shouldn't be so harsh on myself, to believe in my skills more. I'm better at things than I give myself credit for. My advice for upcoming students would be to trust your skill more. Everyone makes mistakes, and if you do, grab another piece of wood and start over. Wipe and move on. And beware of Josh's dad jokes.
I'm Sinabayat, 2019-2020 Heritage Retrofit Carpentry student. At first, I applied for another course at Holland College, but I changed my mind when I found out there's a free seat at this program, and I'm really happy about it. The most important thing that I like about this program is the effort that instructors put for you, and also availability of many jobs after graduation, which is really important for all of us. I learned from Josh and Kelly that believing in yourself and also working hard will result in improvement and also great life. We worked on many projects this year, such as St. Dunstan Church doors or Mayor's windows or timber frame boat shelter, which I liked the most because it gave me the feeling of many years ago carpenters. I have a piece of advice for the future students of this program: believe in yourself, work hard, and also have a goal for yourself. And also this would result in a great future. Also, check out my ePortfolio webpage and you can find out all my projects I did in this year.
Hey, thank you, Sebastian, Mady, Ashley, and Sina. We're ready. I think we've got everybody with us today, so we're open up for questions.
This is Bill. So your team was involved with the Basilica, St. Dunstan's Basilica doors, is that correct?
Yes. Yep.
Can you tell me a bit about that project? What was most interesting about working on such an historic church?
Sorry, who's this question directed towards?
It's to all of you. One of the team members.
Oh, okay. I thought it was very interesting. I mean, just working on such a historic piece like that it was always interesting because you get to see the inner workings, and it's an experience like no other, really. Like, you can look at the door and you can appreciate it like that, but it brings another level to it when you're really taking it apart and putting it back together, you know?
Yeah. I was talking to Josh in the shop one day, and I understand you might have changed some of the materials of construction from, say, a hardwood to a softwood, or from one species of hardwood to another. Is that correct? Were you changing some of the materials in that door?
We used all oak, did we not?
Yeah.
And was that original or?
The original was actually pine inside and white oak on the outside. So,
okay.
Yeah, laminated with white oak. The centerpieces were made from pine, And so the laminations were on the outside, and we just laminated oak, solid oak, like 3 pieces of oak together, a center core of 2.5 inches of oak, and then 1/4 inch of or 1/2 inch of white oak outside. So it's more solid now than it was. It weighs a little more. It's a bigger door. So
yeah. What's the estimated weight of one of those doors, Trevor?
The estimated weight originally on the first doors we did was 270 pounds, and now they weigh over 330 pounds or something like that. Yeah.
That must be quite an awkward disassembly and reinstallation. It takes several people to lift something that heavy, eh?
Yes. Yeah.
I remember moving the old doors off the church, and those were heavy themselves, and they were however many years old, pine core doors. These are solid laminate oak. I couldn't imagine the students next year having to install those.
Yeah. And I think it was Sina that mentioned the timber frame structure. I guess is that the one that's going up at Cape Traverse for the ice boat structure? Okay.
Yes.
So if you guys and girls are still in PEI in the fall, Josh and Trevor and I plan to have that installed this fall. So we're currently getting some galvanized steel members fabricated. Well, we'll be awarding soon and then get fabricated this summer. So we'll be ready for an install in the fall. If anybody wants to talk to Josh or Trevor, he can tell you what the dates will be, and then you're welcome to come on up, have a look, or take part.
That would be
we hope
great.
to have a finished product this fall. The presentation so far going great. Congratulations to everybody. Very professional. This question and answer session is appreciated too. You're presenting yourselves very well, and I think you'll all do well in your careers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. That's a great point. We would love to have you folks in the field in the fall when we go to install that structure. As you know, there's some large members and a lot of physical work that would go with that. Plus, you would get the satisfaction of seeing it complete. The other advantage you folks have over these new cohort of students that will be doing some of the work is that you've been there, done that. You've seen it, you've built it, you know exactly where those marriage marks go and what the pieces are called and etc. So great suggestion, Bill. We definitely take you up on that. Sebastian, thanks for your kind words and talking about patience and what you've learned, including putting in the pictures of the Star Wars door. I know that's probably hard for some people to grasp, so pictures worth 1,000 words. Mohammed and Sina, I just wanted to say thank you for your strength and bravery. It would be very difficult to come to a new culture and to leave your family behind and feel like you're a million miles away during some social upheaval in Iran and some holidays you missed and COVID, etc. So I appreciate you keeping your head in the game and being strong, solid students, while I'm sure there's some pretty heavy distractions on the side. So good job on that.
Thank you for your help and your kindness.
And Ashley, same with you. You're very brave and strong, and I want to thank you for being a student. I like that you talked about the field trips and the field work. I just wanted to say, well, you're very much an artist, as all of your pictures showed. And then there's one picture where it looks like you're trying to steal lumber from Parks Canada because you're covered in pounds of sawdust. That's actually Ashley planing the wood to make it flat, and there was more dust than Ashley. So it went from very fine, beautiful work to really rough and tumble work. So again, you four, you're great to have as students, and I wish you all the luck in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you, Josh.
Anybody else for these four? Okay, well, in that case, guys, we have a little bit of a surprise for you. Let's see if I can get this working. Oh, yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm glad that I can speak to you guys. I really miss you all, and I miss our time together learning in the shop. I know what you all really miss, and I'm glad to be here to help. It's my jokes. So why is a carpenter that builds stairs doing the best in life? Because he's always one step ahead of everybody else. Pierre, please leave the punchlines to me. Thank you. Anyway, I just wanted to say I'm really pleased that Trish was able to get this showcase together, albeit in a different format than we've ever done. I think it's one of my favorite portions of the year because the students get to really reflect on how much they've learned, and us teachers get to see how proud we are of everything you've done. So I wish you all the best of luck with this assignment, and I can't wait to see what kind of graduation party we hold for ourselves once COVID is over. See you guys. Bye.
Hi, I thought it was such a beautiful morning that I'd come out and create my video outside for you. I just wanted to congratulate you on getting your year done and creating these beautiful pieces of work for your showcase. It's been a difficult year, but yet you've rose to the occasion and you've created such wonderful pieces of work, and it just proves that you are capable of anything from here on. So congratulations, and go conquer the world.
Hi guys! I can't believe I'm recording this message as we wrap up our year when it seems like it was just yesterday that we got started. Do you remember that first day when we did Candy Confessions? I think I was way more nervous than you guys ever were. Since that time, we have accomplished a lot together. Computer essentials, project management, and communications. They may not have been your favorite courses, but you were always gracious toward me, and you were patient knowing that I was on my own learning curve right there with you. Our year hasn't always been easy. My first year as an instructor and your program year falling in the middle of a global pandemic is not something that any of us could have possibly foreseen or been prepared for. But we came together, we adapted, we worked hard, and we pulled it off. I'm so proud of us collectively, but I'm especially proud of and grateful to each and every one of you. I've watched you learn and grow and come together as a class, and it's been a sincere privilege. At times, it's also been a frustration, but mostly a privilege. Go out there, follow your dreams, conquer the world, stay in touch, and stay Holland College proud.
Hello, everyone. I'm in my shop right now and just wanted to say hello and glad that you were all part of the Heritage Retrofit Carpentry course this year, and wish you all the best in the future. And good luck with your showcase. Keep up the good work, and you'll all do very well. I think you're very good carpenters, and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Okay, so unless there's any questions or anything, that wraps up the official portion of our showcase. Thank you for attending, and thank you to all the students who really put a lot of effort into trying to showcase their year with minimal resources. We had to be creative on how to talk about our year, and we have Josh to thank for going into the building and getting us lots of pictures. So yeah, thanks for rising to the occasion.
Great job, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very good.
Congratulations, everybody.
Yes, congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I guess that's it then. I will have a recording of this, so I will send Josh the link, and if anyone wants a copy, they can either email Josh or myself, and we can get you that link.
I'd like to get a copy of that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
that-
it'll probably take a bit of time to download and get it, you know, but hopefully by the end of the day or first thing tomorrow, I'll have that ready.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll get it to you, Brian. No problem.
All right. Well, have a great afternoon, everybody.
All right. Thank you. What a great job.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
I'd like to mention before everybody leaves, I didn't leave out the part where I mentioned what I learned from everybody. From Trevor, I learned the importance of working with green directions, and from Josh, I learned how to recover from mistakes and when to pick them up from last time. From Kelly, like everybody said, reading blueprints and making up my own. And from Trish, I learned that how to use the project management software to my advantage for projects big and small. And from Debbie, I learned the important skill that I'll probably use every day for the rest of my life, and that is converting metric and imperial measurements.
Yeah. And again, Ethan, I'm so sorry that I accidentally put one of your clips in twice and not that one. So that's
no
totally
problem.
on me. Yeah.
No problem. I thought I sent you the wrong ones.
Yeah. No, you didn't. It was totally my fault. Yeah.
Trish, I might sneak in steal a moment from everybody. And when Bill, when you were asking about the door, the Star Wars door, I'm going to try to show you. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see the little, when he was talking about the scroll work on the sides there.
Keep it up, Kelly, please.
It's hard to do, right? It's like
And then
backwards.
Can you scroll up?
That's really cool.
What? This way?
Scroll up. Yeah, there you go.
Because I think you saw those in the pictures, but you didn't get to see the X-wing
Yeah.
fighters. Yeah.
I'm sure your guests, at a glance, they think this is a wooden screen door, but then on closer inspection, they see all the detail in it. It's very cool.
Yeah. So yeah, Ethan and Sebastian and the rest of the group that put the door together. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just wanted to comment that COVID-19 has slowed down construction, but I know when we're all past COVID-19, I expect the economies are going to start picking up again. There's going to be a lot of construction work on the go, so hang tight. If you can't find a job right now, I think before the calendar year is out, you'll be all employed, so good luck with that.
You're absolutely right, Bill. There's going to be the need for building is not going away because of COVID. It's hurt a little bit right now, but before this whole thing started, it was the thing that we were most behind on. If you remember, the biggest problem socially that we had on PEI before COVID was a housing crisis. So that housing crisis isn't going to go away. There's going to be plenty of work when the ship rights itself again. So try not to lose hope. Take this time. If you've got time right now and you have access to a shop anywhere, just learn, make stuff for yourself. And the jobs will be there. They'll be there for the rest of your lives, more than you'll ever be able to actually finish. So
good point.
Okay, thanks everybody. I have to take another call. So everybody stay safe and we'll talk another time.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
Bill.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
See you now.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Hi, Debbie.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.